is actually going to be even better if you want to go into people within the games industry being creeps. Apparently, the entirety of games entertainment's World of Warcraft division is just like a walking sprawl of horrifying misogyny, to the point where like they've like violated so many like I think discrimination and like workplace harassment statutes that like the Attorney General of California is bringing charges against them.
Oh,
welcome to our stream.
Yeah, is that Activision, right? Because. Whoa.
Oh no.
No, they were even told to like button it up and then didn't. And oh man, terrible. That shit is. Is it streaming? It sounds like it is.
I'm
real quick.
Echo. Yeah.
Yeah, the echo is from my laptop, which I will shut off here in just a minute.
Yeah.
So for both Adam and for Corey, your volumes are coming in across the stream. They are coming in super hot.
Dude, I just tried to.
Do y'all have any microphone options?
I've been fucking with it, but
I mean, it's something we can work with if there aren't any. Like it's not a deal breaker or anything, but
yeah.
I actually, I have basically a tin can on a string with some mesh on it. If you've seen my brother art,
yeah, Man of Constant Sorrows, Mike.
Yeah, I actually have the predecessor to that.
Okay.
Nice.
Let me go to my settings here. Settings input.
Oh, well, that's the wrong way. Let's come in.
I was actually fucking with this before. Okay, yeah, everybody gets to watch this cool thing we do.
Yeah.
I can move my mic away from me. That might help. How's that?
Yeah, that actually.
What?
Well, actually, let's find out.
Is that better? Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll talk quiet too. I'll whisper. Interestingly enough, that's what I was trying to do for the last half hour. I was like, my mic's coming in fucking on again. I gotta get a fucking mixing board set up my fucking, I don't know. I gotta figure something out.
You gotta get an audio interface.
I have an audio interface, but I have a UPS mic, and
You gotta get an XLR mic, baby.
Pissing me off because I bought the UPS mic to use for this.
I know. Fuck that. You gotta get that. You gotta get that XLR.
I'm gonna get a dongle for my fucking interface. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a pop filter out of t-shirt and coat hanger.
Well, in any case, we're on stream, so hi everybody, and welcome to the Terramundi podcast, where for the last couple of weeks we have been exploring the world of EVA. We've been creating the city of Ishtos using the Quiet Year, which is a interactive, collaborative world-building game. And what are we even at now? We're in
autumn.
We're in autumn,
yeah,
so we're
fall.
Shit, we're almost at the end of the game then.
Yeah. You want to know what the episode's called?
What?
You really ought to know.
Fuck, no, it's not.
I'm in control. I am your god.
That might be worse than my Children of Dune joke.
Nice.
From the first episode. Also, not to cut our rhythm here. Taylor, how's the audio sounding on my end?
Much better. Much better. All right. Cool.
Cool.
So, how do we want to break this down? I mean, there's so much that has happened. Do we want to do a complete recap for anybody who might be joining us first stop, or do we want to just like give a recap of what happened last session?
Let's do a short recap.
Okay, short recap. Right. 1 second here. Let me get my notes. Because this has been just the wildest fucking thing.
Yeah, it's getting pretty ribbled.
Yeah. Let me see here. Where did we begin last session? Was it with the formation of the Wire Shapers Council?
The Law Shapers? Yeah, I think the Law Shapers is where we started.
Yeah, I think we closed it up with the Wire Shapers forming a kind of a policy council, because we'd spent a good amount of time laying out how the Wire Shapers would formalize various forms of government, including the closed loop, I believe was the name of their internal security force, and local self-defense.
The closed circuit, yeah. Yeah.
And also that they had, with the reclaimers, power lines, they used that as pretense for further entrenching their governance and authority and power. Again, including a policy body that was responsible for things like governance laws, public health, military strategy, basically making sure they're not merely, a technocratic body, but one that encompasses the entirety of, civil service.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool, yeah. So that's actually basically the gist of it. I mean, so we start with the Wire Shapers last session taking a little bit more control and getting a little bit more of an iron hold on the city of Ishtas. We do have some unresolved stuff. Formerly known to be an AI, now possessing a human body, known only as Augustus, has shown up to the city, and he has come to basically help this whole process of expansion. We have a Neo-Luddite movement known as the Reclaimers that are attempting to tear up the foundations of the power grid. The damage is not permanent, but it is the start of a serious threat to the Wire Shapers' power. Which ultimately leads them to start forming new body politics. We mentioned the closed circuit. These are internal military force that are created for the purpose of monitoring and arresting radical members of the Reclaimers. We have the discovery of a new nomadic raider tribe. These are violent hunters that pick off other nomads. Corey, did you give them a name?
They don't have a name right now. So let's go to where we are with projects right now. Okay. Taylor is currently running a project that's at 5 weeks to discover to figure out how to utilize the satellite illusion, which was the satellite control room we found in the dunes to control the overhead lights. We have Adam with 1 more week on the Law Shapers. Mm-hmm. We have Adam with 3 more weeks on a refining plant for metal, because we have all that unrefined metal from the meteorite. And then we have me with Augustus forming a diplomacy mission with the violent sect outside of our group. Also, did we resolve the green? I know I don't have it on here that we resolved the greenhouses.
I have the greenhouse at 3 out of 3 weeks still.
Okay, then I must have just accidentally deleted it.
Oh shit.
Yep.
I think I've got that right.
No, that works for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, no, we have Augustus meets with the Raiders, formation of the Wire Shapers, refining operation to get metals from the meteor. We have the satellite illusion project, and then we have the greenhouses sitting at 3 weeks.
Okay, cool. So I don't remember who we ended on. I think we ended on Adam, I want to say.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so in that case, I believe Taylor will be drawing the first card of Autumn.
Right, so we're doing Autumn.
Yep. There we are.
Ace of Autumn. The community becomes obsessed with a single project. Which one? Why? Choose one. They decide to take more time to ensure that it's perfect. Add 3 weeks to the project die.
Ooh.
They drop everything else to work on it. If there are no projects underway, which is not the case, the community becomes obsessed with a grandiose vision. Hold the discussion about this vision in addition to your regular action for the week. I am not going to lie, y'all. I left last week's session feeling like I bit off a way bigger project than I think should be feasible with the whole satellite illusion thing.
Okay.
I think it makes perfect sense with everything we've talked about with the wire shapers that they need for this project to go off without a hitch. If they're going to have control of like sending messages to their people in the sky, that cannot fuck up. If that illusion drops for even a second, then it calls all of their authority into question. It's the potential start of a revolution. So I'm going to add 3 weeks onto the satellite illusion project.
Okay, that's going to bring that to 8 weeks. I think we should just bear in mind, moving on, that whatever the outcome of that should reflect those extra 3 weeks. And I think starting new projects, we should bear in mind that the community is currently obsessed.
Yeah.
Hashtag obsessed with Tucker Carlson dancing with the stars.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't we all?
I mean, if we could not be dancing with Tucker Carlson,
yeah, we could be dancing with other washed up women.
As long as they're not Nazis, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
No promises!
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are going to reduce project die.
Okay.
So satellite illusion goes down to 7 weeks. Law shapers, well, refining plant goes down to 2 weeks. Greenhouses goes down to 2 weeks. Adam, why don't you tell us what happens with the law shapers, which finishes this week?
Okay, so it was, one could say, a success on its own terms. Probably too much of a success. Like, the wire shapers being incredibly methodical, analytic people, both temperamentally and organizationally, were able to delineate the various functions of state with almost a flawless precision, thus further solidifying their power. They'd actually managed to formalize various processes and increase their efficiency in ways that had not been managed before, but while also, again, further ensconcing power around themselves. And it also creates a bit of a shift in governance because, well, previously, one could say that, it was almost, without getting too pretentious, I'd imagine much of the social organization, in a place of scarcity post-collapse, almost somewhat anarchist. I don't mean in the sense of it being, like anarchy in the colloquial sense, like chaos, like
right,
total chaos, as in it was like almost like anarcho-syndicalist.
Sure.
Kind of like smaller communities without hierarchy, kind of, evenly delineating responsibilities where no one person has, kind of iron-fisted hierarchical authority over the other. Those processes have been rather quickly shifted and further, like, entirely managed centrally and hierarchically by the wire shapers to the point where, like, certain functions that would have previously been locally autonomous are now taken over and dictated by one of the wire shapers or a higher member of the law shapers.
Okay.
For example, agricultural organization is now, or like, duner harvesting is now like fully centralized.
Okay.
Certain other aspects, like what would have existed of community self-defense, fully centralized. Things like that.
So this is why Dooner Brining hates the crown so much.
Right.
It is why Dooner Brining hates the crown.
This is the start.
Would you say that gives us an abundance of order?
Mm-hmm. An abundance of order, I would say, because, again, as part of the reason why the wire shapers were so successful is that in a certain limited sense, it made some processes more efficient.
Sure, yeah, and they provided comfort for people in a pretty uncomfortable place. Yeah, I think that totally tracks.
Now, Corey, we also have another project finishing. Tell us about Augustus's meeting with the Raiders.
So, the meeting with the Raiders goes really well. Augustus is able to, because the Raiders were hunting these other groups that were following the migratory patterns of the Duners, and that's how they were like supplying their clan. And I think with showing these raiders like, hey, look at all this shit we have. Look how many brined Dooners we have. We do a lot of Dooner brining, and despite what the Reclaimers want, but he's able to forge a deal with them because they don't want to sit in the city per se or live by the laws necessarily, but the idea of having the comfort of being able to come in occasionally and the idea of being able to being supplied with brine Dooners is very appealing to them instead of raiding necessarily. So they created a pact with the Wire Shapers through Augustus, and they're acting as essentially like these Doom patrols that are sort of autonomous from the city, but protect the city, and their name is the Earthwire, which is an electrical term for like a grounding wire.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you mean like ground wire, but like earth wire?
Earth wires, yeah, it's another term for grounding wire.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, we have sort of a violent autonomous body that acts outside the city. Probably makes it pretty easy to disappear people.
I would imagine so.
The city's defenses, I think, probably go underneath.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What do the raiders get in return for this?
An easy supply to food and the occasional pop into comfort when they please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, in that case, would it be safe to take brine Dooners off of abundances, since we now have a whole other group of people we're feeding, or do you think that would not apply there?
I mean, we have, I don't know, I think it makes sense that we have a ton of them, and with order, I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but, I don't know, what do you think, Adam?
In terms of the
Dooner question, I don't know if this is necessarily a large...
Hey, just real quick, long as we're talking about authoritarian regimes, let's avoid any the blank questions.
Oh, yeah.
Just, if that's okay.
Yeah, in terms of how much Dooners we have to spare?
I mean,
yeah.
Now we're talking about locusts, right? Oh, that's also bad?
Yes. I would say that, like, considering, like, we're still, at least in the tail end of harvest season, and that I'm assuming the Wire Shapers would have provided some nascent organization and tallying to the Dooner harvesting, there would probably be a significant amount of spare Dooners in reserve.
Yeah.
They would probably only allocate a very set regimented amount to be traded.
Okay, so let's put defenses under scarcity, because we do have outer defenses of the city, but it is like contingent on this agreement.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Hey, Taylor, did you start a project?
I did not. No, that's the last.
Oh, right. Fuck, we're still in one turn.
First turn. We just had a bunch of projects that finished up.
Yeah. Okay, dope. Start a project, or make a discovery, or hold a discussion.
Okay. So I would actually like to have a discussion.
Also, I'm going to change the name to the ground circuit so we can keep on the circuit lineage of... Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
One sec. Circuit. Okay. So, I actually want to have a discussion from the Wire Shapers' perspective. In terms of endgame.
So
I think that it's... Oh, yeah?
I think before we start, I'm fine with this. I don't think it's pretty... I think it's clearly sort of, I think it's out of the bounds of the rules to have, these are supposed to represent community discussions, and I'm worried that is a discussion between one facet of the community, in which case we should just be like making a decision, starting a project, making a discovery kind of thing.
Okay, I gotcha. In that case, then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make a discovery instead.
Okay.
And I think that, let me get this over in the right spot here. So I think that way over here, I think that there is an exploratory team that is sort of mapping out this area, and when they do, they come across this gigantic hive of enormous beetles, like 6 foot tall beetles.
Jesus.
That have swarmed in this area for reasons that are yet unknown.
I hate it.
You're welcome.
So,
beetle forms?
big bad ones?
They're bad ones.
So I am putting under abundance enormous beetles.
I love how they're like various forms of pests that are just abundant in this region. First we have the skinnies, now we have the enormous beetles.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Which is my favorite cover band. It's a bunch of people. It's a bunch of gigantic dudes playing Beatles songs. Like the enormous beetles. I think that's very funny.
Big bad Beetleborgs.
Oh fuck, the enormous beetles. When I say
It's a giant beetle up in the upper left of the map.
big bad Beetleborg.
Give it a little striations here.
Just as a reference to people, we have under abundance water, circuitry, which you wouldn't believe because the desert, but we figured it out. Figured out. Circuitry. We have the shifters, the lupines, who are still kicking around, and possibly because of our dependence on electricity. We have briners, which were the duners that we have pickled. Brined. We have geodesic platform. We have ease of transport because of the roads. We have power. Sick. Comfort. Static sounds. Oh, right! The static sounds at night! Fuck, I forgot about those!
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what the Beatles were.
That actually makes some sense. Wait, Corey, what's your whole list? Because I'm missing some of this stuff.
I'm not done yet. Order and enormous beetles are what I have under abundance, all that. And then scarcity, we have the skinnies, which are a semi-intelligent fucking little thieving mole rat, which is not great to have around as a pest. An intelligent pest is probably not ideal. Duners, because we're pickling them all. We have pre-war weaponry, anti-acoustic rock, defenses, rare metals, raiders. Actually, I'm going to take the raiders off of scarcity. Lack of trust under scarcity. I guess that's a good thing. And the satellite illusion. Okay. Now it's my turn. Papa, gonna draw a card. Alright. The strongest among you dies. What caused the death? Or the weakest among you dies. Who's to blame for their death? Sick.
Tight.
Shit. It's Dooner Brining.
No!
Don't you dare!
He was
I quit.
the strongest among us.
I on that subject, we haven't dipped into the Reclaimers in a while, and I think what happens is the strongest among like the regular people probably was the leader of a rebel faction, and I think he does die under mysterious circumstances. Kind of once we get this outside guard and secret police going.
Wild coincidence.
Who would have thought?
And which begs the question, how were they strong? Were they charismatic? Were they a good organizer? Were they exceptionally smart? Were they, I don't know, the Ahmed Shah Massoud? Or
I think they were like probably charismatic. In that, like, they organized regular people, people who didn't understand, like, the technological aspects of the world. Like, this was the whole thing. The Reclaimers were kind of based on this, like, Neo-Luddite revival. Like, I think that, maybe they were strong of faith.
Oh! Yeah, deep, unwavering conviction.
Yeah!
Informed their charisma.
Yeah!
That was useful for recruitment, I'm imagining.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, it's not, I don't even know who that's not ideal for. Some people, though.
Well, it's not ideal for the Reclaimers, for sure.
It might not.
Their own is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling that the Wire Shapers are going to make the Reclaimers walk 500 miles.
Oh my god. Yeah, they drive them into the desert. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, I know. This song's gotten very dark.
Yeah, the Reclaimer question.
Oh boy.
Okay, so, refining plant. Oh, sorry, satellite illusion goes down to 6 weeks. The people are fucking hypey on this shit. The refining plant goes down to 1.
Ooh.
The greenhouse goes down to 1. And I need to start a project, make a discovery. Okay. I'm going to start a nature project. There's an envoy, because I think it's easy to forget through all the secret police that the Wire Shapers are a technological and STEM-based group of fucking nerds. And they saw some sick 6-foot-tall beetles, and they were like, oh, sick! And so yeah, they send a group to go out and study the beetles, like kind of try to figure out their habits, what's up with them, that kind of thing. So I'm going to draw a telescope looking at him.
How long do you think this project's going to be?
I'm going to say 2 weeks, and only because the satellite illusion is taking up most of the resources.
Okay.
Beetle watchers. The Beetle Watchers.
The thing is, like, when you think of the Wire Shapers, you imagine this almost like vaguely sinister cabal of like extremely mysterious, engineer overlords. But then they're out in the desert all of a sudden, being like, "Hey, look at the bug!"
Did you see how their Chicillary moved? Isn't that amazing?
That's too perfect.
Let's not forget that they are first and foremost big nerds.
Oh yeah. Well, you know
never. Hashtag never forget. These guys are fucking dorks.
Huge dweebs. Like, I can actually imagine like some of their meetings devolve into really pedantic quibbling about
Oh my god, they do.
Yeah.
It's the only reason they're not a more effective group is because they just most of the time just argue about what shit means.
Yeah. And then they also oh my god. no offense to anyone here who's into Doctor Who, but I'm imagining the Wire Shapers discovered a cache of Doctor Who DVDs and now openly quote the series at each other and actually interrupt other speakers to like interject with relevant Doctor Who quotes and references.
Deep arguments about which Star Wars trilogy is worse.
Oh my god, yeah. It's actually like, it has reached a point of intensity, it's almost led to sectarian bloodletting. There are like factions within the Wire Shapers that are very anti-prequel and anti-sequel, and that like, they've almost come into blows, but unlike, actual like, let's say like tribal conflict where people break out guns or swords, they
They actually have plastic lightsabers that they duel with in real life.
It's a rich.
The thing is, but they take it as seriously as in the movies. Like, they definitely treat it like it's life and death.
These guys,
so they're just like whacking each other with like plastic Hasbro toys.
These guys are engineers. It is a ritualistic caliper and compass fight. Okay. The Beetle Watchers. All right.
The warriors are coming. Don't worry.
Beetle cavalry.
Beetle. Oh my god. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Cool. My brain. Adam.
Yes, it's my turn to draw a card.
It is your turn.
We go to Autumn.
Autumn.
Harvest is
Ooh!
plentiful, add an abundance, or cold autumn winds drive out your enemies. Remove a threatening force from the map in the area. Huh.
Thank God. Okay, what are you doing?
Well, what would we qualify as the threatening forces?
That's the thing, is other than natural stuff, there's actually not a ton. Like, the Beatles are kind of a threat, but they stay in England where nobody can hear their music. And, I mean...
It's fair.
The Beatles are kind of a threat, but at the same time, like, their leader just died, so who gives a shit,
I mean, they're still a threat, and we don't have to think, like, I guess that would be adding an abundance. I was going to say we don't have to think... A threatening force doesn't have to be necessarily a threatening faction. We also have the skinnies, which are definitely a threat still. We do have water and food pretty much covered, though.
Yeah.
Man.
Though there's a lack of food diversity. Here's the issue is, like, not to get too scientifically precise, we're dealing with, like, potential scurvy and vitamin deficiency issues.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's just say that, just by some, agricultural or ecological miracle, maybe some, seeds from like the pre-collapse times had either like had somehow like sort of like wafted in on the wind.
Ooh.
And we now have, like, now that the kind of cooler temperatures have allowed this to happen, and the summer came around, date palms are starting to sprout from some of the more cooler, more temperate parts of the map, relatively speaking, where there's also a certain degree of like water collection, or at least less aridity than other areas. So there is now a small amount of crop diversity.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put date palms under abundance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the natural recourse of that too is, like, you said that seeds blew in. I'm gonna put seeds underneath scarcity.
Yeah.
And we could do with that some stuff. That's dope. Hey, we got dates. I actually eat dates at work. I'm not sure how I feel about them, but damn, those little suckers give you energy.
I always get so nervous before. Sorry, it was a dumb joke.
No, I get it. Eating dates is...
What joke? I always get sweaty before eating dates.
Yes, yeah. Oh God, I can imagine like one of the wire shapers right before they assassinated the strongest member of the Reclaimers did so beneath a date palm and was like, "Yes, this is the date of your final passing."
Oh no! Oh my
then
God!
He was like, right. That guy's last words were, "I kid you not, really, dude."
Huh? And you wonder why I was trying to.
These people cannot be allowed to continue.
His last words were, "This is why." What do you think he meant by that?
What everyone is.
The wire shapers just constantly make terrible puns.
Just terrible puns. They're just fucking insufferable.
I'm
God.
imagining these just completely insufferable STEM nerds who are the worst caricature of like a 19-year-old engineering undergrad.
Insufferable totalitarian government.
Abundance and insufferability.
Oh my God! I mean, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's it. But if part of the reason why people don't realize how kind of sinister they are is because they're just so fucking cringe.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Dictatorship of the cringe.
I wonder if.
Look, I've been seeing a lot more of these closed circuit guys around, but like, these are the same guys who fight with plastic lightsabers. They can't be that bad, right?
This is specifically why the ground circuit's like, yeah, we're gonna hang out outside still, though.
Yeah.
I'm also imagining like
We're not gonna come in though. It's fine.
yeah. I'm actually imagining like a slightly different internal culture between the wire shapers and the law shapers, where the wire shapers are like that, but the law shapers are like the most insufferable English and philosophy undergrads you've ever known.
Oh my God! Terrible.
Yeah. Children, you're both
The fucking
terrible.
administrator won't shut the fuck up about Immanuel Kant. Jesus Christ!
You know what? I don't care what the laws are anymore. Do whatever you want. Just do it fast.
Fuck all philosophy except whatever Diogenes was on.
Okay.
Good old Diogenes.
Okay, we're going to reduce this project. So, Satellite Illusion, back to 5 weeks finally. The Beta Watchers goes to 1 week. Refining plant. Adam.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
So the refining plant, down here on the bottom left, was relatively successful in refining to industrial standards some of the metals from the meteor. So we do have now, I guess you would say, an abundance of rare earth metals that can be used in more advanced circuitry and electrical and industrial projects. Admittedly, this is a finite resource. Because it's just a meteor, it's not like, we discovered a mining deposit or like a series of veins running through the earth, but at least temporary, I guess, abundance of things like coltan that could be used maybe in 1 or 2 places.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put under abundance a diversity of metals.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want it. We already had it under scarcity because they could take off a little bit. I think a diversity of metals is what we're talking about here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's definitely what, the way that Adam put it is really good. It's like right now we have an abundance of it. It's not going to last forever. We'll be able to do some projects with it, but then I think after that it moves back to the scarcity.
Okay. Okay, cool. Oh, shit. Okay, so the green...
One more, actually.
Greenhouse.
Yeah.
Love the greenhouse. The greenhouse is what we sort of modified that geodesic part of the geodesic structure into, and it went fucking super well. And this is why it went well. We first off had another platform to start our garden on and move some of the city, maybe the more illustrious members of society. But either way, we were able to, like, properly irrigate things, whatever. But as they were working out the satellite illusion, just, like, constantly flickering these lights on and off at night, trying to, like, figure this shit out, they unintentionally just gave, like, a really good blast of UV light to these things that wouldn't have otherwise grown, because, on top of that, as Adam had seeds blow in, those seeds blew onto the greenhouse, and so we have, like, a pretty lush floating oasis.
Nice.
Yeah, alright, cool.
I don't know what that is in abundance or scarcity talk, though.
I'd say we'd have now an abundance of crop diversity.
Yeah, crop diversity for sure. Or maybe even just more plainly, just an abundance of food in general, instead of just brine duners.
Yeah, because we basically have like a protein and iron source in the duners, but we now have like actual, like vitamin C coming from the plants.
We also, with the date palms, we have like sweets.
Yeah, we have sugar.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, oh yeah, fucking the end, the start of everything bad, basically. So I wonder if we should combine date palms, just like food diversity.
Yeah, I'm just putting food diversity parentheses duners dates, like limited vegetation.
Okay. Duners dates. I love that book.
Duners dates.
Get fucked.
we discover Guy Fieri.
Just like the face on Mars, it's just a carved face of Guy Fieri in the desert. We don't know where it came from. That's got some very God Emperor Dune fucking energy that I'm all about.
Flavor Town is just a hop and a skip away.
Yeah.
Now we are all Flavor Town. Dope. Okay. So Taylor. Oh wait, Adam.
Yeah, I need to discovery or project.
Or discussion.
Or discussion. There's little to discuss because that would have devolved into like lightsaber fights with nerds.
Right.
But I'm gonna say that there is a discovery of a funny little anomaly that folks don't really know what to make of, and what they find is what looks like a small research compound with what looks like a still functional satellite that is rotating and looks like it's sending off signals. It looks like a small what looks on the outside like a small astronomical lab or small astronomy lab that has sort of the configuration that would have been used like the SETI project. And again, it just has like two at most like rotating satellites atop this like small structure that is completely barred and sealed. And for some reason, the satellites look like they're still sending some kind of signal and functional, but they're also, the compound itself is like heavily barred under some kind of lock, and you can't get in.
Okay. I need to throw Adam. I need to put Taylor into a whisper for just 1 second.
Okay.
Which is weird. Taylor, Adam just solved aliens.
Oh my god!
They're gonna crash land here because
people watching, Adam has done this every fucking week. He comes up with some like shit, not understanding like the world we have pre-built, and like he magically knows.
Oh my god! Okay.
God damn. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Very cool.
It's very cool.
Draw your SETI project.
If the thing is, like, I realize I might just, like, randomly stumbling dick first into lore again.
You've done it every single week.
Yeah.
Draw your SETI men. The SETI men? That sounds like a scary thing. NASA's boogeymen. They're gonna stop you when you discover the flat Earth. That's right. I believe in flat and hollow Earth.
I actually believe in accordion Earth.
Sick. So... It's fucking chaotic as shit. Okay, fucking cool, dude. How many weeks? I mean, no, that's a discovery. What like, I guess communications array I'm throwing under scarcity? Is that...
Yeah. Though, the catch about this is, again, the small compound is fully locked.
Yeah.
Right.
And no idea what's inside or who's inside.
It sounds like they need a special team of people to try and get in.
Oh, fuck, these nerds are jizzing over this. Fuck. Okay. Alright, dope. Taylor.
Yeah, that's me. Okay.
Yes, I am Taylor.
So what?
I am... Oh. Ooh!
Irish arrives. Who are they? Why have they chosen your community? And for what? Or a small gang of marauders is making its way through local terrain. How many are there? What weapons do they carry? Well, in all honesty, this is the most convenient card that I could have pulled for this turn because I was actually planning a discovery, something of this nature already, regardless. The survivors of the Mountain Hermitage...
Nice!
show up. They have been sort of going up further into the north, into those stepped mountains, and they have been missing now for probably close to like somewhere between 6 and 8 months. Nobody has heard from them, and they now return riding some of these fucking beetles, and they are armed to the teeth. They have become these like warrior nomads. They completely roll through the initial defenses of the ground circuit, and they arrive at the city demanding to be heard and to have a place in the community.
Okay.
Nice.
Which is this? Yeah, it's kind of both.
Oh, it's a small gang of marauders.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Dope.
They are not coming with a message of peace.
I don't think a parish has to.
I guess.
Dude O'Brien feels otherwise.
Honestly, I always just kind of associate parish with Amish in my head, so it's like that's not correct, but that's what I do. I don't know.
Yeah, I always associate parish with like a Catholic parish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where the kindly priest that took care of Dude O'Brien after both his parents were killed in a tragic coal mining accident.
Well, I mean, it was a black mass. It was a satanic church. What's up?
Look, man, a church is a church. If you're gonna be picky, go somewhere else. Get off my dick. Okay?
This is a cool church. Okay. So now we need to reduce project die. This is going to be very interesting. Satellite illusion goes down to 4. Mm-hmm. Beetle Watchers goes down to 1. So this is very interesting timing. And I think what they discover, and this might be something that a group can utilize, but they discover that like these beetles are not strictly organic. What they're discovering is the first, like maybe not the first, but like continue after the Quick Reef event. What they're discovering is like further integration of mechanics and organics. These things are like laced with circuitry, and it doesn't look like they were built either. So that's tight. So I'm gonna put enormous electric beetles. And Taylor. But I mean, I think that has wider consequences too. That like we're seeing evolution in the world that is divergent right now, and happening in weird ways. Taylor.
Yeah.
Project Discovery.
Yeah. So I think that with the growing abundance of technology that is becoming available in this community, I think that a small group of people are actually starting to wonder, shit, I wonder if anybody else survived or if we're the only ones. So I think that on top of whatever communications array they already have for short range, I think they're going to start the process of building a long-range communications array to try and reach out to basically anybody to try and see if maybe there are other survivors that have made it.
Out of curiosity, and I'm not trying to color anything anyway, does this involve the satellite array that was discovered, or...
I think that it would only be right to involve it if the projects surrounding that have finished, which I believe they have, correct?
There's no project surrounding it. It was a discovery.
Oh, then yes. Then that's exactly... It would make perfect sense that's what they would use.
So it's totally locked is the only thing. So as part of the project, like, getting in... I'm just trying to decipher what's going on.
I'm sorry. So you meant the one recently...
Yeah.
That Adam just brought up. Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking about because we also had a bunch of tech that was in the geodesic city. I think that's what I was thinking of.
Okay. Cool, yeah. Dope. What do we put that project as? What are we calling that?
Actually, you know what? It would make sense that... No, never mind. I take back what I said. It would be. The project is to get into that facility and try and use it to reach out to people.
So you just roll the cost of like getting into the project die.
Yeah, and we'll just say it's a bigger project. So I'm going to say that's a 5-week project, 6-week project.
Yeah, this is not to steal your thunder here.
Yeah.
Would it be possible if I took the project of actually breaching the facility?
Ooh.
Yeah, if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have some ideas.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna leave it in general because we do have an abundance of circuitry regardless.
Yeah. We don't have to color. We'll just put the communications project. Anything that comes out of there can get utilized for that.
For sure.
Okay. Cool.
Then I'm gonna say that is a 4-week project.
That makes sense to me.
Okay.
Now we got all these projects running into each other.
This is nice. Yeah.
All right. Cool. And Satellite Illusion is 4 out of 6?
4 out of 8, but yeah.
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 Okay. Cool.
Under P... so this is a small group of Marauders, is what the card said?
It actually asked me to determine the size, and admittedly I never did. I'm going to say this is a group of about, 50 to 75.
It actually says a small gang of Marauders.
Well, it says how many are there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess we're doing that in context to the size of the community, probably, then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That tracks. I was more asking for the question of abundance versus scarcity, and then we kind of get into the question of, is abundance and scarcity purely a numerical game, or is this they are riding these beetles, which I think probably bumps them into abundance, no matter how small they are.
The problem is certainly abundance.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get to. I think that I'm going to put war monks under abundance. Bad war monks. Mean war monks. Okay. Now, Taylor, mean mug the camera, please. Nice, very good. Okay, cool. Is that me?
I believe so.
Okay. All right, shit's getting wild. The community works constantly, and as a result, a project finishes early. Or a group goes out to explore the map more thoroughly and find something that had been previously overlooked. I think that this actually works really well with the first card we drew in Autumn, which is that, like, the group became obsessed with the satellite, or the satellite illusion, and I think with the war monks, like, coming in, moving in on the turf, it makes sense that, like, the wire shapers would have doubled down work. So I think that finishes early.
Damn. All right.
Which it is your project. It doesn't tell me to decipher what happened with the project. So Taylor, what happens with the satellite illusion?
I mean, I think the answer here honestly writes itself. This mountain hermitage, if you remember back in episode 1, they were super religious. They left the original settlement because they had this vision that the society was going to fail and it was going to come to great ruin, and so they abandoned it and they went up to the mountains. I think that they are so sure of themselves when they roll in. And they give the leaders this like ultimatum, like, meet these ridiculous demands or we're gonna, lay siege to your entire city. And I think that with that, the wire shapers absolutely pour everything into that satellite array, knowing exactly what their weakness is. And on the night of the invasion, these beetle monks, warriors, are like posed on these like sand dunes just outside of the city. And they make their demands one last time, and in response, this giant dancing light emanates from behind the city. And the warriors take it as this sign that they're in the wrong. I think that it's a giant eye.
Ooh.
That seems to be looking directly down at them. Like the eyes of God are watching down directly at them. And I think that they take this and they turn tail. Some of them turn tail and run back into the mountains. And some of them just abandon the beetles entirely and they join the society.
I'm going to put the fucking eyes of God under abundance.
Yeah.
Because that was fucking so metal. Maybe that's what we call the satellite illusion now?
The eye of God?
Yeah. Fuck, that's so tight. Alright. So communications array goes down. Damn, Taylor. It goes down. And with that, I need to either start a project, make a discovery, or hold a discussion.
Yeah, it's project, discovery, or discussion.
Right. Okay. Well, it's not
Sorry,
your
go
turn.
ahead.
I figured it out. We make a discovery that
Yeah, it's your turn.
the shifters are kind of naturally inclined to herd these electric bugs. And yeah, like they're very good at it. Like cattle dog, basically. Yeah. And like we just like see them at night, like corralling these things just for fun as something to do. And so maybe that's something we can utilize, but there's like harmonious nature between the bugs and the lupines, and I'm going to represent that by moving them next to each other. Until I put that dog head on top of that beetle. terrifying.
That's kind of shit.
That is. Now we can hopefully we can work on getting some beetle milk.
We also have like an evolving, not an evolving, an emerging ecology.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dope. Adam.
Okay.
Get in there.
Yeah, let's draw an autumn.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, you know who this is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Okay. With I guess the presumed leader of the Reclaimers having disappeared, this leaves a leadership void and a certain degree of discontent and rancor, but also desire to struggle on among his closest acolytes and those who looked up to him. But there's also a leadership vacuum as well. And a young member of the Reclaimers. And remind me, what projects do we have that are still in the works?
We have the communications array.
Oh, that's actually the only one.
Yeah.
Well,
I think whatever happens.
I know that was you had a thing for that.
Whatever happens here, I think colors things colors a lot of stuff because it is. I mean, I'm talking too much. It colors a lot of stuff.
That's fine. I hope this doesn't throw a wrench in things, and of course, obviously, this project can be restarted after this, because this almost might be more of a active of sabotage or again propaganda of the deed that is more about the message than it is any lasting permanent impact. But a single yet unknown presumed member of the Reclaimers single-handedly sabotages the work on the communications array overnight in a pretty impressive operation of maybe using not explosives possibly or something that really shuts down a lot of work on the attempted satellite, the communications array.
Well, so I think, like Taylor said, we were going to utilize whatever we found in the satellite, but as it is, we haven't gotten into that. So, as it stands, whatever communication systems were on the geodesic platform, which admittedly probably weren't many, I think those are gone. Whatever work had been established there, that shit is gone. So, I'm putting communications array off of scarcity to just erased right now, and then whatever we find out from this locked place, we find out. But, and then I'm removing the communications thing as the bolstered, the bolster rebellion. Mm-hmm. Would that be under abundance or scarcity or what?
I'd say under abundance. I'd say this was a huge morale victory for the Reclaimers. Yeah. And was probably a retaliatory or revenge attack for the disappearing of one of their most prominent leader.
They're in trouble because the next thing the Wire Shaper is going to do is start dressing up as Batman. Actually, it's definitely the Joker. So
I think it's the Joker.
Yeah. Do you want to know how I got these? Okay, we heard it, Todd.
Would you rather? Real quick question for everybody in the room. Would you rather be stuck in a room with a bunch of Star Wars nerds or a bunch of insufferable Joker edgelords?
Oh, I'm gonna say probably the Star Wars nerds.
Oh, do I get to pick which Star Wars nerds?
No, you. And whichever ones you hate, they're the ones you don't want.
Oh, well, so it's just a bunch of misogynists?
That's regardless. Well, let's be clear. That's going to happen whichever of these groups you go with.
With the Joker, I got to hear a lot of "we live in a society."
I just shuddered out of my skin.
Yeah, this is the worst. I think also one of the worst things about the wire shapers is they're gamers.
Oh, they're 100% gamers.
They won't shut the fuck up about Gamergate.
Real game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm fucking ending this stream and blowing up my computer. They're virtue signal. Fucking.
We weren't going to use those satellites for virtue signaling.
Is it so hard to believe that people have empathy?
Apparently, especially if you say slurs in a a MOBA game.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't think that was funny? You're virtue signaling. Oh my god. I wish you never learned words.
And then immediately as you say that, one of the law shapers says, "Yes, well, I don't think we ever did learn words anyway."
Oh my god. I don't know, Taylor. A bullet in my brain is what I choose. The thing is that I have very serious opinions about Star Wars, and it's going to disagree with everyone in that room. And what they don't know is I'm right.
There's only one way to prove to them that you're right.
Yeah, it's to be stuck in the room with the Star Wars nerds just to prove to them that I am correct and they're wrong.
A noble pursuit.
There's an objective truth here. It is mine. Okay. So Adam needs to start a project.
Okay.
No dice reduce.
Yeah, I'm going to say the project is the wire shapers send a crew to open the what looks like a research lab.
Yeah.
As represented by the satellite dish in the far left of the map. They send and maybe even with a couple of prominent wire shapers with them, they send a crew to try to open it, because it does have what looks like a door.
Yeah.
And they set about trying to basically breach that lock, or just sort of very carefully and methodically, almost if whether it requires not a kind of something to break through the metal. They basically send a team to sort of basically weld down the door.
Okay, so how many weeks do you think this takes?
Probably just a week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Taylor, please roll the beautiful bean footage.
Okay, gotcha. 1 sec.
It's always funny to say that when it's someone's turn to roll dice in a game.
Introduce a dark mystery among the members of the community, or conflict flares up among community members as a result of Project Fail.
We can't even end this door!
They're too busy arguing about Star Wars to get in.
You know what? It's jammed. It's in there with glue or something. Just fucking don't worry about it.
These are the worst wire shapers! I don't know, they must have used glue.
I don't know.
You don't even
Hold on it and it won't open, so
We called
knocking, nobody answered.
We called your roommate, he said you didn't even go. I did!
No, I did.
It's not plagiarism! Okay, wire shapers. Terrible.
Sorry. Introduce a dark mystery among members of the community. Okay, here's one. The wire shapers are actually dead. People have kind of noticed for the last little while that the wire shapers haven't actually made a public appearance in, I don't know, it's been a couple weeks, a month. Nobody's seen them around. And this is not a huge city. It's not the tiny little, village it was, but are the wire shapers still here?
Oh, so okay. The mystery is where have the wire are the wire shapers around?
The mystery is, are the wire shapers still here, and if not, where did they go, and who is currently in charge?
Ooh.
Yeah, so none of the real wire shapers leadership has been seen. I'm guessing the closed circuit is still
Yeah, no,
visible,
all of the underlings and administrators that make the system actually work, but the central wire shaper council, whatever you want to call it, nobody's seen them in at least a month.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. oh god, is this a Warhammer 40k thing that they all die? They're all like attached to like a life-giving throne.
Fucking okay, we can.
I haven't played Warhammer 40k, but that's
Dog, we cannot do. We can. Okay, yeah. The lore of Warhammer 40k, if you get past all the fascist shit in the 80s, is very, very good. But it's also.
It's not a great pitch.
Well, no.
Past the fash.
That's a weak pitch, man. I don't want to play that game anymore.
No, so I think there was an issue in the 80s where a lot of the writers, it started off as satire and kind of, morphed into, hey, I think this is, maybe, kind of promoting it more than it is in spite of it. I'd say that 40k now is very, very much aware of what it is and plays in that space very well. It's also some of the most deep, most fun lore ever because anything can happen because the universe is so big and brutal that it has happened. Every universe can be contained in the Warhammer 40k universe, and everything you need to know you can learn by watching Event Horizon.
It's pretty great.
Fuck, I love 40k.
So, project break into facility. Okay, cool. And we reduced project die. So, what was the project die on the door?
Oh yeah, 1 week. So what happened?
Then yeah, tell us what happens.
Okay, so the team dispatched by the Wire Shapers to go break in the door start to work, and since again these are the Wire Shapers folks, do so very methodically, carefully, but they're not making any secret. They're not being subtle. They have no need to be, stealthy about their work. They're just basically a bunch of engineers opening what looks like a locked, almost electronically protected door, and they managed to find a way to, break into this, heavily reinforced, heavy sliding steel door that would have been potentially either protected by biometrics or a key card of some kind, a fingerprint or eye scan. This is a very advanced looking facility. They managed to finally coax it open. And as soon as it opens, again, this just huge sort of door opens and the entire crew is standing in front of it. And as soon as it happens, there is almost perfect, flawless timing. A round of sniper fire from way down the hall goes off and kills the entire team.
Whoa.
Fuck.
So it's at least trapped.
Yeah, and should I give an explanation as to what that was, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, if I'm not skewing the lore into too strange of a direction, or too far of a direction, as you remember, there is an abandoned military base nearby.
Yeah.
The people inside are basically, if you've played Fallout, kind of some, I guess you could say, equivalent or middle ground between the Brotherhood of Steel and the Enclave.
Okay.
They were if you have... it was basically a facility that was an advanced military research facility that went into lockdown as soon as the cataclysm happened. And the people there have been surviving inside, totally isolated, not wanting to leave the facility, and doing everything they can to both survive and try to contact other potential facilities and kind of persist in sort of maintaining their own technology and waiting for a moment to potentially emerge, while doing everything they can to not attract any notice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this, fits very heavily into lore. This is, a contingent off of whatever glittering court was off of this.
Fuck, yeah.
I think that totally tracks. I also think they're going to love what we have in store for them.
Yeah, and again, as you could probably imagine that, this group of, again, people who are higher ups in the military, some combination of NASA, DARPA, etc., had just basically probably, as soon as they heard people tinkering with the door, waiting there for it to open, as soon as it opened, hid the bodies, closed back up again.
So we should clarify, just as at the point of collapse, there was no real centralized government.
Okay. Yeah.
There were, I guess maybe some cultures below probably had some idea of a centralized. It was pretty
regional government.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
most of the wealth was controlled by like these floating cities or vaults underground that operated like as sort of courts, like royal courts of their own degree. So there's definitely shit like that around of all kind. Yeah, that's dope. What do we put under anything? What do I put somewhere, Adam?
Abundance? Well, I mean, they're not even in abundance. They're just like they're a certain detachment that's just been like hiding there.
Yeah.
You could say like again,
military leadership and scarcity.
Well, no, that would imply that the community has a lack of military leadership.
Yeah.
I think this is just in discoveries, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. For sure. Oh yeah, I'll put it under people. Retinue of military commanders?
Yeah, or like the remnants of old, governmental and military leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry we shot your guys.
At the same time, also, like, if we want to, like, kind of extrapolate from this, the Wire Shapers know that they've heard nothing from the team sent to open it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they would probably also, if they sent folks to look at the facility, they would see, like, nothing. No bodies.
Right.
We know something's up there. We probably saw, something's going on. Okay. We know that we have a faction of a retinue of military commanders around. Okay, fucking sick, dude. Whose turn is it?
It is actually still my turn.
Okay.
That was reducing project die. I'm actually going to start a new project.
Yeah, we don't have any dirty projects going.
Electric beetle herding.
Hell yeah, we're gonna start ranching. We're gonna start monster ranching, and then I can.
Oh yeah.
So this is an involved process. We have to take time to actually train the lupines to actually corral these beetles the way we want them to.
Right.
It's also a matter of like divvying out who gets how many of these beetles, what lands they're going to settle on. I think it's pretty involved. I'm going to say this is a 5-week project.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, it is the end of my turn.
Okay. I am going to start a natural disaster strikes the area. You focus on getting everyone to safety, removing abundance, and a project fails. You focus on projecting your supplies and hard work at any cost. Several people. The society we're building, it is the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we protect our supply, and I think more than several people die. Like, it is. Some people die.
What's the disaster?
Yeah, okay, so that static that we've been hearing in the wind, it was an actual storm that was brewing, but it was like not an electromagnetic storm, it was like electricity building in the air, and it just like burned through all of a sudden one night, like we're just like huge powerful wind, just like crackling through, and we were able to protect our supplies, and I think that's why people died. Like it took some protecting to get the supplies safe and reorganized, and we have electric wind. Chaotic electric wind. But now that we know like there's a weather pattern to it, like we can over the course of weeks hear like the building of static in the air. It's static winds.
Yep.
And it, raises in decibels until it eventually it's like tidal waves.
Cool.
I guess
right, cool.
I'm gonna put that under abundance. static
A lot
waves.
of electric shit in this world.
Yeah.
Dogs, electric beetles, electric storms.
Electric Boogaloo.
Absolutely. Oh, how many weeks was Electric Beetle hurting?
5.
Okay.
Now 4.
Okay. So I can I do something weird here?
No.
I'm gonna take my shirt off. Is everyone cool with that?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You should have done that an hour ago.
So
That's why I came here.
Augustus, under the missive of the council, is starting a project within the confines of the AI production facility.
Oh.
It's very tight-lipped.
Okay.
But it is a project. Yeah. That's it. I think that's it.
How many weeks?
It is going to take 5 weeks.
Okay. Alright, and I think with that, Adam, that is all you.
Alright, I draw another autumnal card.
Autumn!
The best season. Hey, a good thing happened.
Actually, the second thing could also happen.
If there, oh no, we actually can't because we do have projects.
Oh!
Yeah.
If they're...
Yeah.
And which ones are underway again?
We have the Electric Beetle herding and Augustus's secret project.
I would say the Electric Beetle herding.
I fucking love that album.
Yeah.
Because, to the credit of those insufferable dorks, they did spend a lot of time observing the beetles and figuring out their patterns, their basically beetle zoology, and as a consequence of especially one particularly obsessive wire shaper that now knows everything there is about beetles, was able to provide instruction to the rest of them on how to best herd the beetles.
Yeah, so it actually became really easy once we found out that they have an opposable mandible. You find we fasten these little halters actually, and they became really easy to control after that point.
You have to make Ringo walk first. Ringo.
Yeah, so tight. If that's the case, then and I think it kind of makes sense with all of these other projects being completed. And especially after the lightning storm, we've had to kind of redirect a lot of our resources. Mm-hmm. And so, I think that the way that this pans out is it's a couple of things. First off, we have even more of a source of food now. Like those beetles, I think that ranching is actually the word. And what those food sources are, I'm not entirely sure on it yet, but that's actually not the thing I really want to talk about right
It's Electric Beetle milk.
Electric beetle milk. It's blue. What I want to talk about is who gets the beetles. Because I think that with the success of this project, the people who spent that time training the dogs and getting this whole process figured out, I think that they become the nouveau riche of the chasse.
Yeah.
I think that they become the new upper middle class bourgeois owners of the means of production or whatever. They're not obviously the actual council. They're not wire shapers.
Uh-huh.
But they are people on whom the wire shapers have come to now depend, because the beetles are such a big staple now for that community. Mm-hmm. They've kind of carved a whole new part of this society out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we basically have a petty bourgeois agrarian or landowning class.
Yeah. That's fucking sick. Also, these beetles probably make... we should keep in mind that these beetles have other effects with this finished.
Okay.
Well,
I thought you were going to say, we should keep in mind these beetles have feelings.
and I love them. No, like, I think, like, hauling things is easier. Like, construction is probably easier. Like, there's a whole host. These are big. You said these things are 6 feet. Like, these are big boys.
Yeah, they're huge.
So, like, I think them control it's more than just, like, the food resource they control. They control, like, they're probably getting their hands into industry, so...
Sure.
Yeah.
Transportation, just general labor, like, they'd be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like the...
No, I actually think that, like, it's probably, like, a status symbol thing. I actually think maybe like, having a car... Like if you have like a beetle that like is your like that your house owns, it's like it means that you have like the wealth to like the wealth to own one of those.
Yeah, I hate the new models though.
God, they don't make them like that.
This is really cool because like there's that, but also like livestock is one of the oldest forms of wealth across humanity.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why, like, there are historically such brutal punishments for, like, cattle thieves, and they're, like, they're literally grazing wars, like, still occur across, parts of the world.
Right.
And so this is cool, and again, also, like, status symbol with a beetle car is pretty great. Like, we're developing social hierarchy.
Yay!
This is what happens when you get a bunch of academics together to make a world. They're just like, well, we can just take what we already have.
But we gotta put a fun little twist on it with electric beetle milk.
Beetle milk. I decided it is blue.
It is blue, but yeah, I mean, I was on point. 6-year-old Corey loved that. That was whose turn?
That was
Adam's turn. Okay, so Adam.
So we do need to actually take down Adam's project die. Or sorry, just the project die. So Augustus's very private project is
changing the name. I've found a way to milk myself. Oh, you've already discovered milk.
The next time you see me, he's like, look at me.
Beautiful.
Gaze upon my form. As I milk myself.
Oh, where did you all get this blue milk? Augustus's very private project. I love that VH1 show.
Adam, you now need to make a project, start a discussion, or a discovery.
Ooh, okay.
I like that with the Wire Shapers, like, over council gone, things keep running because of how well they established everything.
Well, we don't know they're gone.
True.
Yeah, so would it be, you said you don't want to have discussions exclusively among the Wire Shapers when we do have discussions?
Yeah, I think that, like, the rules of the game are they're supposed to represent community discussions. So, like, they can have aspects of all communities. The idea is that they don't solve anything. It's for us to discuss, like, the direction things are headed.
Okay. Then I am going to discover something, and the discovery is going to be, with the domestication of beetles and large-scale beetle herding.
It's music to
beetles are large amounts of beetles are disappearing in the night.
Our beetle
thieves.
Beetle thieves! Dooner brain! Dooner!
You see Dooner like riding away like like a horse thief from a Western movie on the back of a beetle, fist raised in defiance as he streaks away in the night across the horizon.
Fistful of pickled Dooners.
Fistful of Dooners.
Yeah. Fistful of Dooners, yes!
Oh, fucking so tight. Adam, when we finally get vault peddlers to the state of playtesting, you'll have to make a.
Brining will absolutely be an in-canon character.
Well, no, I'm saying you're gonna have to make like a legacy character from Dooner Brining's lineage. Oh no, Dooner Brining is for real gonna be in the book.
I'm not even kidding. He will be.
Nor am I.
He will be mentioned.
Historical figure.
Hashtag never forget.
They're like folks. Again, they're folk songs about him. He's a hero.
Yeah.
Passed down through the ages.
Dope. Okay. So we have disappeared. So I'm gonna take. I'm gonna put Electric Beetles into scarcity.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I also put bourgeoisie into abundance.
Class stratification.
This isn't good for the beetle herd. I just see a bunch of Ringos running around. That would be Taylor's turn.
Okay. Just gonna take it there. Someone leaves the community after issuing a dire warning. Who? What is the warning? Or someone issues a dire warning and the community leaps into action to avoid disaster. What is the warning?
Ooh.
Start a continuous project.
Contentious.
Yeah.
Contentious, not continuous.
Oh.
Just it colors the project probably. This is the never-ending project.
It's forever. This project is infinite weeks.
This is your life now.
Huh. Someone leaves the community after issuing a dire warning.
Do you want a group of list of people?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we have Augustus, the spy master, who is mid-project right now.
Right.
We have the Prophet. We have the Dune
right.
We have the Dune Seekers. We have Broken AI, which is still sitting as a frame. We haven't done anything with that.
Okay.
We have the Wire Shapers Council, the Reclaimers. We have the closed circuit, the ground circuit, the retinue of military commanders, and that's it. And the bourgeoisie.
Here's what I think happens. The AI that's still in its frame issues a dire warning that the same quick reef that drew people to this place is coming. It's not stopping at the shoreline, and by its best calculations, it will be there midwinter. And then it shuts off.
Yeah, it wasn't even on before, so that tracks.
Oh, okay, well then yeah, they finally get it working for 2 seconds, and then it issues this warning before losing power again.
I think it's pretty stark that it just powered on to say that. Like, that's dope.
It's like an emergency. It's an emergency weather broadcast.
So is this the second then?
The what?
Is this the second prompt?
Let me see here. Yeah, I think that this is going to be the second one.
Okay.
I think that people, not enough time has passed that people wouldn't be scared to death of the quick reef and what it can do to people. So I think that I'm going to start a brainstorming project to come up with an idea to deal with the quick reef should it ever come to this area.
Okay.
And it's a brainstorming project. I'm going to give it a week.
Okay. This is probably, this is good discussion territory. Now that we're I know we've all been avoiding discussions. This is discussion stuff.
And I think actually, because that is the end of my... Or no, wait, we need to do project die.
Yeah.
So Augustus's very private project goes down to 3
weeks.
And and then mine'll resolve on the next week.
Okay.
Because right now we're going to have a discussion.
So you need to start with a statement or a question. If you start with a question, you get to finish at the end with a statement and have the last say.
I am going to start with a question then.
Okay.
What do we do about the quick grief should it arise?
If we are going down, I think the answer is pretty easy. We already have part of it in place. The glittering courts, before they fell, sat in geodesic platforms. We have a geodesic platform. Let's recreate this. Let's make more of them. That's one guy. His name's Steve, and he kind of sucks, but his idea was good.
Is he a Star Wars geek or is he a Joker?
Oh, Star Wars, for sure.
Nobody wants to be the edgelord.
No, we live in a society.
Well, actually, the funny thing is, we now do live in a society. You realize how much of a field day they must have had when they realized, like, social stratification had occurred?
Somebody throws up their hands like, well, now we do.
Great.
Happy?
Now just tattoo ha on you or something. Let's get out of here. You're ruining so many things.
What should we do about the quick grief should it arise?
Admittedly, I'm coming from a place of not knowing the lore as well as you all should.
It's like a...
Finding quick grief defoliant.
Quickly, what?
Quick grief defoliant.
Okay.
Like, probably the wire shapers would find a way to basically engineer some sort of chemical compound that would be especially effective at pushing back or at least keeping the quick grief at bay.
Okay, cool.
Because that's how they would respond to everything is, oh, let's chemistry this. But, like, you know, basically something that is an herbicide for quick grief. Whether or not that's feasible, who knows? That's probably what they would try to do.
Sick album, though.
I think that finally one of the administrators pitches in and says, we can't make any good plan until we know what our timetable is. We need to send out an exploratory team back to the coast to find out how far away the quick reef is.
Yeah.
And if it's actually coming here.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, like, this discussion and then the idea of that being a contentious project, like, I think, yeah, we've made a contentious project.
Yeah.
In fact, after that discussion, I am going to put on... We actually haven't done this yet. Uh-oh. Whoa. Whoa. I'm getting wild on this die. There is something in this game called Contempt. And, like, we have a contemptuous project right now. Like, there is disagreement on way to go. I'm going to do a little mark of contempt. And to remind everyone, contempt has no game thing. It is just supposed to represent, like, disagreements in the community. That's all. So we have contempt. And anyone can do that, by the way.
Wait, what did you do?
I just drew a mark of contempt. Contempt
What does that mean?
It's like a social signifier that I'm not happy. It is like a encoded game thing to mark that, like, the direction that we are headed in is not one that parts of the community agree with. The idea here is that it doesn't color anything. You don't count up contempt or anything. It is just like just a social signifier. And because we just started a contentious project, I figure this is a good time to add some contempt.
Just to clarify for my edification, is that a mark to signify you're dissatisfied with the direction as a player, or is that to say like in the fiction?
In the society? I'm using it to represent in the fiction. There is like discontent.
Gotcha. I thought that you were saying that you, Corey, were like,
fuck you.
Fuck, I hate where this is going. And I was like, oh,
I'm sorry. No. Mostly, I just wanted to use a piece of the game we hadn't used.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Whose turn is it?
Mine.
Okay.
Oh shit. Disease spreads through community. Choose one. You spend the week quarantining and treating the disease. Project dice are not reduced this week. Nobody knows what to do about it. Add health and fertility as a scarcity. Yeah. Man, okay. Yes. Well, I'm trying to think. That is probably man, guys. This is a iffy one.
Yeah, it's also like a question of what would be like the strain or nature of the disease. Like, is it lethal? Is it like subtle but long-term debilitating? Is it?
I think that once you pick one of these, you can explain
what
fiction, why you picked that one, and in so doing, talk about what kind of disease it is. But yeah, neither of these are great.
Yeah,
health and fertility, like.
Does it render people sterile?
Nobody can.
Yes.
No, nobody's allowed to fuck.
Nobody's
oh my god! It's a biological agent released by the Joker faction of
this is a nerd caused disease.
Yeah. No, you can't fuck either.
Nobody can fuck.
Well, I guess now nobody can fuck, so I'm not really that much of a loser, right, guys?
The disease.
It's everybody. Nobody can do it.
The disease is everyone turns into Skeletor, because that was the voice that I just did. It was. Man,
Sorry, but if that happened, everybody would be fucking.
Yeah, that's true. You couldn't stop.
It is a truth commonly acknowledged that Skeletor fucks.
Oh, absolutely. He's the buffest man made of bones around.
He's not made of bones. It's literally just his face. The whole rest of that body.
You can't convince me of that. It's just carved out of bone. Fuck.
It's a walking boner.
I love Skeletor. I don't want to be good. I want to be evil. I think the second. Nobody knows what to do about it. Add health and fertility as a scarcity.
Gotcha.
And I think that, like, nobody knows what to do about it has a lot to do with inaction on the part of the wire shapers. I think we have a lot of people who utilize the STEM side of things, and, like, the human aspect sort of falls to the wayside sometimes, and, like, that sort of bedside manner starts. But what happens is it is a sort of fainting disease is the wrong idea. It's like people are losing time. You know the concept when people get abducted and they wake up like 3 hours later somewhere else? That is what's going on to like sections of people, and I think it's happening like in groups. Like people are like hanging out with their buddies who are all rancher farmers, and then like 4 hours later they're like somewhere else, like what the fuck just happened. So I don't know if it's psychological disease or what, but it is lost time pneumonia. I don't know what the fuck you call it.
Yeah. bouts of insomnia? Or not, excuse me, amnesia.
Yeah, amnesia, or group, yeah.
Odd collective amnesia.
Collective amnesia. Bouts of collective, yeah, fuck, man, I don't know, I made a weird one.
Yeah, that sounds like it's a disease with primarily cognitive symptoms.
Yeah. For sure. And with that, my project die is going to reduce to 2. Augustus's very private project. And now I need to start something.
Well, actually, no. Hang on.
Oh, do you?
I started a brainstorming project.
Fuck, you're right. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, what did they decide on?
So they do send out an exploratory team. I don't know if that means I start a project now, or if that means that's going to be like on my next turn.
I think we could probably say you start it now. I think like as a continuation of that project.
Okay. But I think that actually that the council ultimately decides to go with this idea of combining the two suggestions of creating the floating geodesic dome and then creating a moat of this like chemical stuff surrounding it.
Is it a gas because it floats?
What?
Because it's a floating geodesic dome, is it a gas or is it a liquid?
Like an aerosol?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, so what I had in mind was literally just like creating a lake of this chemical, whatever it is, and then having the city floating above it.
Oh. Okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That being said, that's a massive project, and I don't even think it's fair to... 6
weeks probably doesn't...
I don't even think it's fair to make a project for just that thing. I think that comes in multiple steps.
Yeah.
Like, we have to do a project to make the chemical, we have to do a project to get the city, like, their engines ready.
Yeah.
We have to do a project to get everything moved onto that floating dome once it is ready.
Yeah, I think this is the natural response to us holding that discussion, like multi-tiered project like that.
Yeah.
So what do you want to start with first, I guess?
First thing is the exploratory. We have to know if the threat is actually real. So they're going to send out an exploratory team to head back towards the coast, find where the reef is, see if they can ascertain what direction it's coming in, if it's actually coming our way, and whether or not the threat is actually real.
Dope. Exploratory team, how many weeks?
I'm going to say 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks. And okay, now it's I get to do a project. Okay, I need to start a project. I think that the project is... Okay, yeah, the project is to... because we have, like, sort of techno-organic things around, we, like, have the ability to do some experimentation. I think they're trying to find a chemical solvent or, like, the chemistry side of things. They're trying to design a... what would you call it? A deterrent for the quick reef, a poison.
Yeah, a defoliant.
Yeah,
like.
defoliant. Thank you. So defoliant project. I think this one takes 4 weeks.
Okay. And with that, folks, we are out of autumn.
Are we actually? Because sometimes it lied to me.
I can't draw any more out of autumn.
Okay, hold on. Cool. Unplayed. There's 3 in the deck still.
Oh.
I don't know why it does this. Every once it did this to me with the other ones too.
How do I... Oh,
I just had to shuffle it, yeah.
It's a cat.
It's a kitty cat.
Which one?
That's Chauncey.
Yes.
Someone returns to the community. Who, where were they? Or you find a body. Do people recognize who it is? What happens? Y'all, they find a fucking body.
Shit.
And it's one of the council.
What happened?
Big DB for Dooner, Brine, and Carpenter.
Oh shit!
Yes.
This man was in a place that was just too loud. The decibels. Is that for serious about the DB? Like, what's
Not the DB, no,
Okay.
no. But they do find one of the members of the council. They don't know. There's no obvious signs of like foul play or murder, but they do find him like just out in the middle of the dunes, basically left to rot.
Yeah, I think that tracks.
Shit, so
Exposure.
interesting. Like, I don't know how sophisticated their autopsy capacities are, but you said like the body was just left. No sign of foul play. You said no apparent sign of foul play.
No immediate. Like, there's no like stab wounds, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like they like the autopsy could turn up poison or something, or like suffocation or strangulation.
But then we'd have to start a project.
I don't know what it's going to be. But they find a body.
The body of a councilman.
It wasn't neatly disposed of. It was just left in the dunes to rot.
Ooh.
That is spooky.
Guys, body's not going to rot here in the dunes, I'm telling you. It's going to turn into a Skeletor. That's right, it's going to get super buff.
Okay, Project Die reduces. And I think we don't have anything that finishes this week.
Wait.
God, we've had so many projects.
Is it Adam's turn?
No, I just drew that. We're reducing Project Die.
Did Adam go last turn?
Wait, Adam, was that your card?
Did we reduce Taylor's project? No, I'm saying when we reduced your exploratory thing, that was on my turn.
Right, and I go after you, right?
No, Adam goes after me. Because we're going.
Sure?
Yeah, because we're going down. It's if you look at the stream, or we had been.
All right, well, we'll resolve it this turn. Adam, you'll go next.
Yeah.
And then Corey, then Adam, then me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
okay,
that
cool? Sorry about that, y'all. I really thought for some reason I went
this
after
is.
Corey.
I think it gets ribbled when we have so much shit going on because it's like I ended a project and normally that would be going on and I don't know. Sorry, Adam.
No worries. So who's next in our slightly inverted order?
You're gonna.
Well, I actually need to finish
Yeah.
the turn I stole.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we need to reduce project dies. I'll guess this is very private project, and the exploratory expedition are both now at 1 week. And that's it. Nothing completes this time around. I am going to start a discussion as to what happened to this council member.
Okay. So is that your question?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's pretty clear that we need to have an autopsy to discover the facts of the problem, says the nerdiest guy around, Steve's brother, Devin. They have a very not creative mother, sorry.
Wait, what?
His name's Devin. He says that we need to...
Is this a reference to Steven that I know?
Oh, no. But it could be.
I was going to say, don't rip out my boy Stolden.
Love him. Haven't hit him with the good soccer trucks in a while. We could bring that back.
Yes! Yes! Soccer trucks!
Yeah, let's bomb him with that later. Okay, yeah, so that I think we need to have an autopsy to make any clear that it says a member of the society. We live in a society. Adam.
Cool.
What does your member of the discussion have to say about this body?
They say that it's curious because if this was a work of malice or premeditated murder, the body would probably have been better disposed of.
Ooh, that's a fair fucking point.
A third nerd chimes in and says, I think it's all very obvious what happened here. Those reclaimers have been gunning for these people for months now, and they finally did it.
Oh, fuck. The fucking wire shapers are killing their own to fucking sow discontent among the people. Maybe.
And that's the end of the discussion.
Yeah, nothing was solved. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Adam, with my humble apologies, it is now your turn.
Gotcha. That was devious. These dorks know how to, if nothing, know how to conspiracy govern.
That's nobody suspects them because they're a bunch of dorks.
Yeah, I'm the Marcus Aurelius of being.
All right, someone kick his ass, please.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
there's about to be 2 bodies left in this desert.
It's gonna be me or you.
One of which died by Swirly?
His arm. So many friction sunburns.
Yes, it appears that he suffered a broken spine after being shoved into a locker?
Oh, fuck. Okay, tight.
He was looking so hard it went straight through his skull.
Yeah, so Noki-induced cranial trauma. A project isn't working out as expected. Radically changed the nature of this project. When it resolves, something goes foul and supplies are ruined. So again, the projects that are still going on are...
Augustus' very private project.
Yeah.
We have creating the defoliant.
Yep. And the exploratory team.
Oh.
Exploratory.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, babies. You all gonna die.
They were just.
This is the exploratory project to the sea.
Yeah.
To find the quick reef.
To find the quick reef.
What is the
we are towards the the center mass on a continent. So we're not particularly close to the sea, but when we were retreating, Quick Reef was growing onto the coasts and shit. Like, it was eating shit.
It's probably 100 miles inland from the southeast of this continent.
It might even be more than that, but that's the closest we probably get is about probably 100 miles to the water.
Has Quick Reef shown a propensity to mutate?
Yeah,
Quick Reef is itself a mutation.
Yeah,
so
yes, it is straight mutation.
Yeah,
and Quick Reef is technically a plant,
I guess.
Yeah,
it's like a metal. It's like a metal coral.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That GM brain just wore into life.
Yep. Okay.
I love fucking.
So,
what's your GM look like?
Yeah, what's the look your players fear?
Dead silence after a roll.
Just rolling randomly for no reason.
Oh,
I roll something, and this is assuming if I'm playing with a GM screen, I will roll a die, look at the result, and not say anything for 4 or 5 seconds.
That's good.
So,
I give this look.
The project isn't working as expected in the sense that
so which one?
The journey to the coast.
Okay, so actually then this makes sense because he just drew this card and this is about to resolve. So
yeah. Should I be the one who resolves it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it says.
You need to be.
Yeah, okay, so they get to the coast, and when they travel to the coast, because Quick Reef, it sounds like just expanded as a flat growth, right?
It was a blossom of growth underneath the sea.
And then it came onto land.
Yeah, so when you get to the coast, or when the search party gets to the coast, they find that the Quick Reef is indeed expanding a bit, but it's not expanding in the ways they would have expected. that apparently it is expanding in ways that are uneven. It seems to be consciously tracking through rifts or valleys for passage. And though it's hard to tell, you notice that even some of the wildlife, the smaller, simpler wildlife, has markings or growths on it that are suggestive of the quick reef. And the fact that the quick reef is moving in these deliberate ways through certain formations suggests a kind of gestalt intelligence.
Yeah.
That wasn't there before.
Also, there's... we have
the
these...
other thing, too, is, like, that made me think of, like, flowers and pollination.
Yeah.
If these animals have these growths and they carry it into places where the reef wasn't...
Fungal spores.
Yeah, fuck me. That is terrifying.
I know how that...
Yeah, there are vague indications of sentience and intelligence.
Taylor, I just realized something.
What?
I know how the Sero started.
Oh, shit. Well, I do now. Okay. Corey, it is now your turn, and then it will be Adam's turn, and then it will be my turn.
Actually,
if we run out of cards.
Augustus's very private project also concludes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And I don't think it happens all at once. Augustus's very private project was first off booned by the onset of... Well, you know what? We're going to call that disease the Forgotten.
Like that.
But, it happens small at first, in the same way that we saw, like, this threading on, the electric bugs. I wonder what the electric bug's called.
Those little buggers?
The beetles? Or
yeah, the beetles.
I don't think I came up with a name for them. Scrawlers?
Ooh, Scrawlers is good. We start to see... people don't notice it right away, and when they first start to notice, they're like, what is going on? And people are waking up with maybe some of this threading on them, and then maybe a metal arm happened, and Augustus eventually gives up the goat. He's been secretly modifying, and it started with council members, but when people started losing time, like working on the population to fit more evenly with a just sort of, what would you call it, like a very hard-scrabbled survival situation. We need people who can work longer. We need people who won't die from the elements. Utilizing all the circuitry and metal that we have around to fortify the population, and has been doing so in private. So, I guess, like, a retinue is wrong, like, mechanized population.
So, to be clear, that he's, like, borging out
people.
Everybody in Ishtas?
Yeah, and now, he started
like
borging.
Non-consensually, I'm assuming.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sick. So people are just waking up with robot arms and legs.
Yeah.
Not needing to sleep as much.
Yes.
Wow. What a legacy this robot has lived.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I put underneath that.
Could put humanity at a scarcity.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think you necessarily lose your empathy from it. Like, maybe I shouldn't relate humanity with empathy. No, I think it's an important feature. Flesh. I'm putting under scarcity.
If I'm being honest, I feel like those are good things to put together.
You know what I'm doing? Under people, I'm putting I'm just putting clockwork men under people.
Okay.
It's neither a scarcity nor an abundance. It's just like Now some of the... And here's the thing, too. Like, even though he was utilizing the nature of the Forgotten to, like, do this, it does seem to be solving the problem, at least of people kind of sharing this delusion of forgetting time. So, there are some positives to it.
Okay. All right, and now you need to start a new project discussion.
God, guys, I don't know. We already had a discussion about how to solve. I think we need to have, like, we have police in the city, we have people protecting, like, the borders from intruders, like an alert system for the city, with quick reef, impound, like, coming. We saw the warrior monks coming in. Like, we need an earlier alert system than, hey, like, these guys are gonna get you in the dunes. So I'm starting an alarm system. I think this takes not that long. I think it's 2 weeks.
Okay. All right, Adam, your draw.
My draw. Here we go.
Oh, this is winter now, right?
No,
this is the last autumn.
One more autumn. No, that's the same card we had before.
Yeah, it is. That's strange.
Oh, maybe we are out of cards then.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's...
Autumn is done. Unless you want a second disease.
Maybe there's 2 diseases?
I'm just hankering for another one.
Considering how jazzed everybody participating and or watching this stream has been about pandemics over the past year.
Yeah. Right? Oh, please. Please, sir, may I have some more?
Ooh.
All right, then that concludes autumn for this game of the Quiet Year. Tune in next week as we go into winter, and I'll be just real quick reminder. Next week may be a very short session. If you draw, what is it, the King of Winter?
Yeah.
Then the game just ends. So depending on how this goes, this could be just where Ishtos is left. Prior to sort of moving on to greener pastures. We will be here same time next week around 6 o'clock on Twitch. You can also find our videos on YouTube, assuming Corey moves them all over.
I have been! Even the one without my voice!
Adam, as always, thank you so much for joining us. This has been just an absolute blast.
Yeah, this has been awesome. It's great to join you folks, and I hope that we don't draw the King of Winter at the gate, just so we shit posting our way into a world.
That's great, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we do, we will have a conversation about the state of the game and the state of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that being... Oh, yeah, go.
Oh.
Give me a tag.
Did you have a sign-off? Because I was going to do a dumb shit post.
I was too!
What were you going to shit post?
I was going to say we live in a society!
Oh my god, what I was going to say! Okay, hang on. Okay, so everybody tune in next week. Thank you very much for tuning in now. Be safe, we love you. And 1, 2, 3.
We live in a society. Fuck.
And
God damn it.
I'm shot first.